All right, it says we are live. Hello, everyone. We will do a quick roll call. How are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing well. I hope everybody out there is doing great as well. So
You
we'll
ready for
see.
Christmas time?
I am. I just finished up everything today, so that's good.
Good.
I just had a couple of quick things to pick up. I got to go out tomorrow really fast to pick one last thing up, but everybody should be good. Everybody should have a nice Christmas and not bitch about anything.
Good. Yeah, I had stuff on order like from the second and the third, and it was lost in this United States postal system, COVID, wherever. And
Yep.
so I called the companies, and they're like, "Oh, we'll send out another one." I'm like, "Okay." Well, what's funny is like 12 o'clock last night, I got a ding. I looked at my phone, and it's like started tracking the package again, and one of them showed up today. So I'm like, "Okay." So anyway, we'll I guess go through this and then kick the other stuff and return it back to them or whatever. I don't know what they'll want me to do, but so I could get a couple of double items. But yeah, it's definitely Christmas, and I'm kind of between me and you and the fence post and everyone out here, I'm kind of ready for this year to be over with. I'm sure everyone is.
Oh yeah, this has been the consistent shot to the nuts for the past year. I mean, it's like a nonstop shit show. It's been horrible,
Yep,
but
one after
you
another.
know, hopefully 2021 will be a little bit better, a little bit cleaner in regards to some of the things we've seen. I mean, obviously politically, who knows what that's going to look like. I just, I don't know. It's been just a bad year. It's time for it to be over, but
Yep.
hopefully it doesn't get worse.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. So hopefully, we can do this little chat and kind of put all that crap aside for an hour and just have a good time. But I did want to bring up one thing. I got some breaking news. I've been following this pretty hard, and I've been notifying my congressmen and filling out all the sheets and everything for the ATF. I'm sure everyone is aware of this, and I wanted to read something real quick, and I had to put on my little cheater glasses here. But this is what ATF released today. So it is of 12/23, and I'll read it real quick, and y'all can go on the ATF website and actually see this atf.gov, and it says Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, docket number 2020R-10W. Objective factors for classifying weapons with stabilizing braces withdrawn of guidance. So, action notice withdrawn. Summary: the ATF basically is announcing the withdrawal of a notice and request for comments entitled Objective Factors for Classifying Weapons with Stabilizing Braces that was published on December 18th of 2020. Dates: the withdrawn is effective, insert date of publication, which is today. This notice will also be made available on the ATF website. For future information, contact Andrew Lang, Office of Regulatory Affairs, Enforcement Programs, and has his address and all that. Then it says, upon further consultation with the Department of Justice and the Office of Deputy Attorney, ATF is withdrawing, pending further Department of Justice review, the notice and request for comments entitled Objective Factors for Classifying Weapons with Stabilizing Braces that was published on December 18th of 2020. As explained on the notice, the proposed guidance was not a regulation. The notice informed and invited comments from the industry and public on a proposed guidance prior to issuing a final guidance documentation. The withdrawn of the guidance does not judge or change any law, regulation, or legally binding requirement. December 23rd, 2020, and that's from Marvin G. Richardson, attorney or associate deputy director of the ATF. So, what I'm reading out of this is basically that they've withdrawn the letter. They're not taking any more comments, and probably what they're doing is just pushing this off until the next, until probably 2 or 3 or 4 weeks from now, and then we'll get right back into it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. But you know.
Yeah, they probably just got so much blowback from people that now they're trying to spin it like they weren't really going to do it. It was just kind of seeing where the current was pulling, which is kind of stupid in its sense, because you obviously know what the current is going to be, especially when you go to your local gun shop and there are no guns, no ammunition, no nothing. So kind of stupid.
But I think with the blowback that they got, what they're doing is they're saying, hey, let's just shelve this for a little while, you know, see what the new regime, you know, all this stuff that could happen or might happen. And then we'll address it at a further date. Or they just got so much blowback, they just wanted to release this in order to shut off the comments so people can't keep commenting. Now, I don't know if you can still leave a comment. I've already left mine, you know, a while back. I didn't try to leave it again, but I just thought that was pretty interesting because a lot of people keep bringing up the braces and stuff, and I haven't heard anybody talk about this, you know, so I figured, heck, I'll, you know, at least read it out. I haven't seen any videos on it or anything, but I've been following it pretty, you know, keeping abreast of it, put it that way. But yeah, that's my paraphrasing, but just trying to sum it all up. But any new things that you're looking at or hoping for, or have you seen anything that you're excited about recently?
Well, yeah, actually, I'm finishing up the year with some cool stuff. I mean, if you guys have been following, you know that I kind of hooked up with Icarus Precision. And by the way, awesome people there. The owner of the company, just awesome. They're out in Washington State, which is kind of interesting because we know it's sort of like a cesspool like New York. But just talking to them, they've got some amazing things coming down the pipeline. I know there's a lot of people who are interested in some of the things, like, for example, and I can say it because we had a long conversation on the phone the other day. So the X Compact is coming out. It is coming soon. You know, they started producing them, you know, there's some early production, so there's only a few. So I will be getting one hopefully sooner than later. And then once I get that, I'll throw that up on the channel and you guys can take a look at it and then you can judge. I mean, you know, when I did the video on the X Carry model, the new one, the Gen 2, it was interesting because I think a lot of people now are seeing it for what it is, because obviously SIG brought out the XG, and then they brought the lower out and they're charging people $400. And, it's kind of crazy because the Icarus Precision, because it's done in-house, because he does it himself, pretty much all of the machining and everything, you know, he can be so much more competitive. And I honestly think they're going to just blow it wide open with the X Compact. You know, once I get it, I can't wait to just play around with it, obviously show it. And it's pretty friggin' sweet. I mean, if you guys have been seeing the pictures, it's just amazing. And no, Dennis B, I can't loan it to you.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Al,
I've seen the pictures of it, and I think it looks really good. You know, compared to the
actually go ahead.
I was gonna say, compared to the SIG one, you know, this one looks like it has extra, you know, like stippling or a little better aggressive stippling and some other little things about it.
Yeah.
It's just not so plain. And of course, I guess you can pick your colors and stuff too, can't you?
Yep. So, I mean, that's kind of the benefit too. So I know there was one person who commented saying, well, I want the removable, you know, side pieces and the back strap. And I guess that's good, you know, if you want to do that and customize it the way you want. But, you know, he was explaining to me what it is. So it's like, I guess, a big monolithic piece of aluminum. So it's extremely sturdy. I tried to find information up on the SIG one, and I really couldn't find anything on it. Not saying that it's an inferior product, but you know, when you look at the way they did the texturing on the grip, it is very similar to way like a Lock G10 grip feels, and it's pretty sweet. And Big Al, you can see pictures on YouTube and also on Instagram, so check those out because it really is something that I think is just what people are looking for. The prices are ridiculous. I mean, we're talking $260 for the lower Cerakoted. If you don't want it Cerakoted, it's $235. So, I mean, how could you not want that instead of the XG lower? It's just insane. Yeah. And then
now, do they have the pictures on their website also, Icarus Precision?
They do, but he's sending me a lot of stuff via text, and he's asking me to post for him, so I'm doing it. You know, and I just want to tell everybody right now, I'm not getting paid to do this. I don't want everybody to think that I'm shilling for these guys. But like I've always said, you know, it's a company that started doing something new, and it's cool. Yeah. Like it's not only cool, but it's functionally better than a polymer grip. And you know, they're just cool, man. And I'm so glad that I got them hooked up. I got hooked up with them because they're just good people doing some pretty cool shit.
Yeah. Speaking of that, have you seen the new? Now these are new. the new Walthers. They're like the black tie edition and the silver tie edition and all of that. It's the Q5. Have you seen the new ones, the all steels?
I have not seen them. I kind of shied away from Walther a little bit.
Yeah.
I think at some point I wouldn't mind getting one, but the price is just so ridiculous for something like that.
What do you hear the price of these? These are special editions. They have a steel trigger, so it's not the polymer type. It's a different trigger. One of them has the etching, like I've talked about, the kind of like the Western type etching. So it's got all the etching on it. It's kind of a smoke, frame, and it's literally all steel. It's not like the normal Q5 steel. This is totally different. It's like their, high end one. This top of the line Walther, and I actually put my hands on it today. I don't have Instagram anymore. I canceled it, so I can't put pictures up there, but I put them over on, or I will put them on Parlor, but it's $3,300 for this Walther. Yeah. And then they have a black slide, which is kind of like a smoke black, and it was like 32. And then they have the silver one, but this one's kind of cool. The trigger's really not bad at all. One of them had a little bit of crunchiness to it, but I think once you shoot it a bit, it'll get better. But I was just like, holy crap, man. $3,000 Walther Q5. I'm like, ooh, no thanks on that thing. Yeah, I agree with Romans. Yeah, that's high.
Why not just go and pay $4,000 for an Alien?
Yeah,
I mean, it's a better gun. Well, it might be a better gun. It's a lot more unique, so why not?
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, I will probably, if everything goes okay, he should get it this week. They are shipping them. I might have my hands on an Alien this weekend to shoot it. If not, definitely next week. It's not my gun. It's a buddy's gun, but it is officially shipped and it's coming to the FFL. So we'll get to play around with it and see what I think about it. But anyway,
that's if it's not lost in the mail.
Yeah. I think it's been a damn long wait for that gun, considering it came out like a year ago. I guess
over a year ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So be interesting. If a lot, because I know that they did say some of the people who had pre-ordered them actually canceled their pre-order. However, he didn't. So I don't know. I guess we'll see if it's all it's cracked up to be. But because I'm interested in, I've only seen pictures of it, and but I haven't seen it in person. So
right. So just really quick, Big Al, I actually have not shot the Gen 2 grip yet. I did the Gen 1 a while ago. The Gen 2 is a huge improvement just based on the texturing of the grip. Do I think it's going to perform any better? Probably not. Maybe slightly, because the beaver tail is also a little bit better, but I don't think it's going to perform any differently. And the first one I had just was rock solid. There was no issues with it at all.
Oh. So what is another question I had here, and I've been asked this too. What is everybody thinking they want for Christmas, or hoping what Santa will bring them? If you could get like your ultimate Santa grip or ultimate Santa gun, or whatever it is.
I don't know. It's there's really nothing. I mean, I don't, at this point of the year, there's nothing that I ever asked for, because it's really about my kids and my wife. I'm sure they got me something, but they're always like, well, what do you want? I go, I don't really want anything. There's nothing I want. I've been blessed enough to be able to buy handguns. So I'm pretty happy with that, and, I'm finishing off the year with some pretty cool things that I wanted to just bring back to the collection, so to speak. I showed both of them to you already. So I actually wound up getting another 19X because I sold it like an idiot. And, now that they were so hard to come by, my local gun shop had one. So I bought it, and I just got it today out of jail. And then I picked up like my 17th P07. So, I figured it was OD green, again, those are hard to come by too as well. It is a 2020 model. And I've got to say, and maybe it's me, maybe I'm going crazy, which is a possibility, the trigger on this one feels a lot better than the old ones that I had. And I had an OD green model before, but this trigger does not have that mushiness on that take up. It's a little bit of a movement, but it's not where it's like movement. It's slight movement, and then it breaks. So it's kind of interesting. I don't know if they did something. I don't know if it's just because I haven't had one in a while, but this, the double action feels like as heavy as normal, right? So just get a spring to reduce that. But the that single action, man, it's not as bad as it used to be. So that's a huge improvement, I think, for the P07. So I'm happy I got those two. I actually also, for my last final purchase of the year, but I probably won't be able to get it until 2021 because of course, the wait I have to go through here, is I did pick up a Steyr, one of the A2s, but I'm not saying which one just yet. So that was the final purchase of the year. I had to get a Steyr. But this one I'm pretty excited about. So we'll just stay tuned for that. But that's how the year ended for me.
Good deal. Yeah, we've got, let's see, Scott's wanting an AK-74, which is cool. Peter's wanting 1,000 rounds of 9mm, $2,000 stimulus check from C. Kim. Hell, I would like to have the Brinks truck just back up a, truck full, or have one of those little pods delivered full of ammo. That would be nice.
I'd like to get the $600 stimulus check. I'm not even getting that.
Yeah, I know I won't either. But and then Bald is hoping Santa will bring him $150,000 so he can finish those damn houses. So, but yeah, I'm kind of there with you. There's really nothing I need. They asked me the same thing. What do you want? What do you want? I'm like, I don't really need anything. So and I always tell people, if you're going to buy me anything, just give me like a Visa gift card so I can go buy what I want when I happen to see it. Because and people are like, I hate that gift. I'm not going to give you that. And I'm like, well, whatever you give me, I'll probably return or you can keep. I just don't need anything. So, but yeah, ammo would be good. Never hurts to have enough ammo.
Yeah, I mean, that would be nice to have, Santa bring me some ammo, like a whole trunk load of it would be great. Yeah.
I bought, and this is an ammo I've never seen before. Now it is, it's 22 match ammo. I've seen it's S&K, but this one, it's S&K Biathlon Sport. I don't know if anybody's ever shot this, but it's match grade ammo. It's supposed to be really, really good in cold weather, which we don't have, but it's also supposed to be really, really good in the wind. Because I got that Lapua Center X and I really like it, but this is some other kind of match stuff. So I figured, I'm going to start like Isure 6 and X-Ring is doing. I'm going to start playing around with the 22 rifles, and we've got a place where I live. It's about 45 minutes from me, but they go 0 to 200 yards, and now they're adding another 100, so it'll be 0 to 300 yards. And they do like the NRL 22, where it's like a precision match, but with your 22s. So I'm gonna try my hand at that, because that is definitely what I lack of anything is scopes. I mean, I know how to use them, or partly, but as far as adjusting them on the fly and all that, that is definitely one of my weaknesses. I'm not afraid to admit it. So I'm going to start dabbling in that, and I definitely want to, get some of this good ammo. So bought 500 rounds of it today. So far, I've got about 2,000 rounds of this match grade stuff that I've been stocking up on. But it's not cheap. Hell, for a box of the 50, it's like 10 and $14 for this match grade for 22 ammo. It's like, holy crap. But, it is what it is.
Hopefully it makes you a better shooter.
Yeah. Well, and, it should transpose over to centerfire. So that's kind of why I'm, wanting to dabble around with it. Plus, these targets are like stupid tiny. So I think it'll be fun. But anybody have any questions or anything they're wanting to ask? There's so much. I'm seeing a lot of stuff, but it's just kind of, like re-releasing stuff, like as far as some guns. A lot of the stores have been out of stuff. Now they're getting it back in. But it's just kind of the same stuff. There's really nothing new and exciting that I'm seeing. I could be missing it, other than those new Walthers, but that's $3,500 Walther. I'm out on that. But that's really the only stuff I'm seeing. I've been shooting the STI and still running it through its paces to check the function on it. And I did order something for it, and I've got some good and some bad on it. So I'll be bringing that up in a video. But yeah, it was, and let's just say what I ordered for it was not up to par, and the customer service was completely piss poor. He's handling it, but definitely gonna tell the truth about it. So, it's that happens. But anyway, well, here's actually a good question. On an AR, scope or red dot on an AR-15, and that can even be towards a rifle. What's your opinion on that?
I don't know. I'd just get a red dot. Depends what you're going to use it for. I mean, I don't know. Like to me, it depends what you're using it for. I mean, are you going to shoot long distance, or are you not going to shoot long distance? And then how long of a distance are you actually going to be shooting with an AR? I think for me, I'd go red dot. You could always get a magnifier if you need it, but I'd go red dot all day long.
Yeah, and I mean, I would definitely say, what are you going to be using it for? Because if I'm using it within 100 yards, just close quarters, stuff like that, or within 100 yards, I would definitely say red dot. If you're trying to really stretch it out there, or you're using it for target identification, like, hey, is it a good guy, a bad guy, whatever? At 100 yards with a red dot, it's kind of hard to see if somebody's holding a gun, if they're just standing there, holding their cell phone. So I would definitely say magnifier or an LPVO or a scope, so you can really identify what you're shooting. But within 100 yards, I would say red dot. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Right. And keep in mind that opinion is from, average Joe.
Yeah. I mean,
we are definitely not, trained to kill in combat people, So for me, and then Kim brought up a great one, a thermal scope. I'd go thermal scope. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
I would love one of those.
Yeah. I'm going to be playing with some of those pretty soon. I think it's going to be pretty awesome. I've only looked through a handheld thermal, not nods or any of that, just a little handheld thermal, and they are pretty awesome, but I'm going to be playing with some thermal scopes. So I think that's going to be pretty awesome. I've looked through them in a store, but I've never put one on a rifle or anything like that. So be playing around with that. But yeah, God, man, those things, you can go really low budget, or you can go up to 10, 12 grand for a freaking thermal scope. And I'm just like, holy crap. I didn't know they were that expensive, but they are. Some people are saying LPVOs. Yeah, I mean, it's low power variable optics are nice. What I kind of find, I kind of go through both, where I really like magnifiers, on some, just because they're quick, you can flip them over, and they're sometimes more reasonable than a good LPVO. You can buy a cheap one, and I've got some cheap ones, and they're garbage. I mean, they're not, when you look through like a razor versus some of the cheaper alternatives, it's night and day. So,
I wonder if it would be kind of neat to have a red dot on a pistol that's a thermal red dot or thermal something, infrared. How cool would that be? That'd be pretty sweet.
That would be.
Although I don't know how practical that is, but
Yeah, and on some of the rifles, I've got the LPVO, and then I've got an offset, like RMR or Holosun or something, so you can just tilt it, and go fast, and that's an option too. It's just also you get into the thing, and especially where I am, or what I'm thinking about is how much crap do you want to hang off of your rifle? Do you want like every kitchen sink hanging off of it, or do you want to keep it pretty minimalistic? I've seen some crap like at ranges where guys, I mean, their rifle has to weigh 15 pounds just with all the shit on it, and it didn't start out that way, but they've got all this crap on it. And I'm like, you don't need half of that. And most of it's just like knick-knack plastic crap. It's not, usable stuff, but people just think, hey, it looks really cool, so I'm going to hang it on my gun. But that equals weight, so you just gotta, Gunny is saying this, Gunny, that's what it's going to be on. So that's what it's going to be on. But, it is, there's just so many options that you can choose, and it really comes to personal preference, because on some scopes, you can get a red dot and a magnifier, and that can equal the same weight as it could with a LPVO. So, if weight's an issue, that's something that you have to justify for yourself, but there's so many different options. That's a great thing. So
Yeah, I mean, I could see using a thermal on like a real long distance bolt action rifle, something that you're not going to necessarily be running, through the woods with or anything like that.
yeah,
I couldn't see using something like that on a kind of a shit. Everything goes like to shit very quickly, and you have to beat out of there. I just don't see necessarily that would be practical for that kind of use. But definitely, I think for someone who's going out and doing some long distance shooting, I think that'd be pretty good for that use, because it's less likely of dropping and movement and all that other crap. So
yeah, because some of those things are freaking 12. It seems like a foot, 2 feet long. I mean, they're huge depending on the size you get, and they have some that are I guess more weight friendly, lighter, but with lightness and capabilities and everything, that's when it just the price just goes sky high. So I just say whatever works for you, and I'm going to be trying out some to see what I like, and just kind of going from there. But it is really cool to look through them and just see the stuff that you can see, because it's like, wow, that's pretty impressive. Now, of course, nods is the best, but you can always flip those up and down. But everybody wants to be a night ninja hunter. So, but let's see here. Yeah, hit that thumbs up. Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate it. He says we have 50 on here and 8 thumbs up. But yeah, is there anything else that you're gonna start doing in 2021, or anything that you can doing differently?
No, I gotta lose some weight. That's about it. gotta get rid of this COVID-75 at this point. Holy crap!
Yeah.
No, you know what? I think I'm gonna get a toupee. Maybe get some plugs, get some long hair. I think I'm gonna go with like the Fabio route. I think that's still kind of in, right? I mean, it's it's a little 1989-ish, but I still think it's pretty hot. I think I look good like that.
I think you ought to just get one of those hats with the thing cut off, and you got the mullet here, and then you got the hair hanging down in the back. I think you should rock one of those.
Get a hat with fake hair coming out of the side, so I look like I have hair again. Boom, done.
Or you could be like Dreads, or Indie Irish. She's saying get dreadlocks. How about let's see. I guess maybe I missed this. Big Al's saying, what about the FFP question? First focal plane? Is that what he's asking? Yeah, just ask it again, Big Al. I'm sorry if I missed it. But yeah, there's, I mean, I dropped Instagram. I've had some people ask me about it. Hey, they've been hitting me up and asking about it. But it's just something I wanted to do. I was kind of thinking about doing it on the first, but then when I got those terms, I just decided to drop it. Do I miss it? I miss the camaraderie with people, but I don't really miss the Facebook aspect of it. So that's just me personally, but I do miss the camaraderie with people. But Parlor has it, but it's not, I guess it's still so new that not everybody's over there yet, and they're not posting stuff all the time. But we still got the YouTube community where I can post stuff over there too, just not as much. I won't post as much. But so let's see here. Oh yeah, well no, A-Dubs is asking a great question, and if you remember, I've asked you this many times. Where do we send the hair donations?
You can send them to Big Johnson's house. He lives at 555 End of the Street Lane. Yeah.
No, way back when I used to get a haircut, I'd take a picture of the floor and text 17 and ask if he wanted a donation of it, and he would give me the middle finger.
Yeah, I would watch. I watch these advertisements on these guys saying, "Oh my God, I was losing my hair, and it was the end of my life. So I had to go and get this magic tissue paper to put on my head, and now my hair is growing again." First off, it looks like they have pubes on their head. Secondly, I mean, are you that vain as a man that you think your hair makes you into a desirable man? I mean, it's a joke. It's first off, I like being bald. I actually love it. I have no problems with it. And I don't have like, I don't feel bad that I lost my hair. I don't feel bad that it's thinning out even more every year. It just makes it easier to shave. And whatever I have growing in on the sides now, like this little like Friar Tuck look I got going, it's just turning all gray. It's all gray.
Yeah.
So I don't care. You know, I just think it's hilarious that people get so sad and upset. Oh, I'm going bald. Well, you know, maybe you're not such a man then, you know? I mean, if hair is what's defining you as a man, that's pretty sad.
Yeah. Yeah. People get bent up about all kinds of stuff, you know, but yeah, but hey, A-Dubs is saying the same thing. He's saying, you know, well, where did he go? The final stage is acceptance.
Yeah, I accept it. I'm okay with it, man. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
like I said, I've been blessed with good hair and haven't lost any yet. So, but hey, man, like I said, I know I have bald friends and all that stuff. It's not a big deal. I think you roll with what the good Lord gave you, or didn't give you.
And really, like, you know, the way people have become so much now, and I don't want to bring the chat down to a negative side here, but everybody's so vain, you know, and you even like look at some of the pictures that are posted, like even if you go to YouTube, I mean, let's be honest, if you look at some of these ass clowns like YouTube page in the gun community, and I'm going to just throw it out there because I really don't care. They try to portray themselves as these warriors going out into the forest to deliver the people on the countryside from evil, and you just watch it and you're just like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I mean, it's a joke, you know. It's like, just get over yourself, be humble, you know, and everything else is going to be fine, guys. But I just think it's hilarious, you know. Everybody just takes themselves way too fucking seriously.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. That's, you know, that's why I was just kind of like, you know what, I need a break. And I've had like balds been beating me up saying, you know, you're going to come back to Instagram. And I'm like, no,
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're not going to get the attention you want, and you're going to be back. Mark my words, everybody. He's coming back.
And you mark my words. Once I commit to something, I don't go back. So once I'm done, I'm done. So you won't see me there.
I haven't owned 15 VP9s.
You have.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So as often as I bought those, you'll be back.
Yeah. No. I was going to say, I know that you came back, but I'm not coming back.
You know, I barely do anything on there now. I just post pictures of shit. I'm not getting involved in anything. I'm not, you know, honestly, the only thing I've been doing is just posting pictures of guns in like cool lighting. That's all I do. Yeah. I don't do anything else there.
Yeah. Dennis B saying I'm an attention whore.
You are such a whore.
He's saying I'm a whore. I'm an expensive one then. How about that?
And you know, just getting back to the hair thing. I used to have really long hair, which is crazy. In college and shit, I had long hair, man. I was a kid in like the 90s. So I kind of went to college during the grunge era. You know, long hair was in, and I was sporting the long hair, man. And then I came home and I shaved my head, and then probably when I was in my mid to late 20s, it started thinning out, and I just said, okay, time for it to go.
Shit, man. I was the one that was rocking the flock of seagulls hair and shit.
Yeah.
I was. I had that crazy freaking shit.
Yeah, the little thing, and then like a little swirl in the middle there.
Yeah. No, I was back in the flock of seagulls and the real mullets. We a lot of us had real mullets back in the day before it was even a fashion statement. So, you know, we thought we didn't stink back then. I have put Pistol Pete. Back on Instagram. Or he wants to see yours on Instagram. I did put an old picture of my mullet on Instagram, but I deleted it all, so it's gone. But
the oldest picture I ever posted was me on the fire department. But that I still had hair there, but it wasn't like the good hair. You know, it was the time to thin out and shave that shit off hair.
So how many pair of parachute pants did you have?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I didn't really have it. Like, I guess I didn't have parachute pants because that was a little bit before me. That was like in the 80s.
Then you weren't the shit. Then.
I was more of like the late 80s, early 90s kid. So, you know, it was all flannels and jeans and long hair and listening to Nirvana and Pearl Jam. You but there was, it's like funny because you think about how you grew up and you go to these different stages. Like I listen to the shit that people listen to now, the rap and stuff, and that's not real rap. I mean, real rap back in the day was like NWA, Cypress Hill. Those, to me, that was real rap. Now the crap they listen to now is so stupid. So yeah, it was a fun time, man. It was the best time I ever had was in the 90s, man. It really was. It's just a good time.
What's funny at my parents' house, and I'll see it again this weekend, but what's funny is at my parents' house, there's a picture of me and I'm standing with my dad and I'm wearing parachute pants and a parachute shirt with the sleeves cut off. And I've got really long hair. I think it's even a mullet. And standing next to my dad, and my dad he's 5'6", I'm 6'3". And I think I was like 13 or 14. And I've got freaking parachute pants on. Every time I see that picture, I'm like, good God, I used to dress like that. But, yeah. It's funny to look back at it now, but if anybody was to wear that now, they'd probably be thrown in a dumpster.
Yeah. Well, it's funny too, because my kids will see some of my old pictures when I was in high school and in college and stuff. And I don't think they've ever seen me with hair. So they're like, who the hell is this strange guy? And it's like, it's your dad, you idiots, but they've never seen me with hair. It's kind of funny, Yeah. But it's all good, man.
Dennis B's bringing up Beastie Boys and Sabotage. Hell, I saw them.
I love Beastie Boys. That was good, I remember I used to play before I used to go out at night, I used to play like Conan the Barbarian, like the actual music from the movie, because it's got that really cool, intense beginning where it's dun 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 dun, and then you just sit there and you're flexing in the mirror saying, "I'm ready to go out and drink beer," and you have many women and drink, and it was a lot of fun, man. Growing up was great. It was. The 90s were so fucking awesome.
Yeah, we used to cruise up and down. We had a place called the University, and we used to cruise up and down it. What's funny is when I used to go to Dallas, Forest Lane, and this is no lie, I used to hang out with Robbie Van Winkle, and if anybody knows who he is, that's Vanilla Ice. And he really did have a 5.0. No lie, he had a white 5.0 convertible. And we used to meet like at the Taco Bell. We'd all park in the parking lot with our cars and do like a little car show and cruise up down the street. It was just the dumbest thing in the world, but I always thought that was really funny. And that's what we did when we were young. That's what we did. So
Bald is saying, is this the 2-gay man chat? No, Baldy, it's called American culture. You should embrace it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry they were teaching you about, comrade, fucking whoever at that point, but we didn't have to deal with that. So,
Bald was probably breaking down pistols and rifles and shit when he was 10.
He was sitting in school saying, "I love my country. We'll kill for my country," Yeah. But,
shit. This is actually, I get asked this question a lot too. And I don't know if, especially what Indie Irish specifically is talking about, if he's talking about ammo or not, but what is your definition of hoarding? And let's say related to guns and ammo. Okay, we're going to take it to that. I don't know what they were talking about, but what do you think?
I mean, I think in regards to guns and ammo, it's just buying anything at all and buying it in massive amounts. So like, for example, you're buying 308, even though you don't have a 308, you have no reason to have 308, but you're buying 40,000 rounds of it. Let's say, for example, I mean, do I consider myself a gun hoarder? Man, that's a good question. I wonder if I am. You're just buying guns that you don't need, but you just want them, and you can't help yourself. So I think that's my definition of a hoarder. So like, let's say, for example, you buy, 15 car guns, like KHR, right? You don't need them and nobody wants them. Or you buy the newest Taurus, whatever the hell it is, X57-9 to whatever it is now. I don't even know what the fuck they're putting out there, but you have 14 Tauruses or Tauri, if that's plural. I mean, I could think that would be the definition of a hoarder. You don't need it and you don't really have a practical reason of owning it, but you have way too many of it.
Okay. Well, I'll kind of go back against that a little bit. Okay. Say you bought 15 of the Tauris. I look at it this way. If you've got 15 of them, if your first, second, third, fourth, fifth one break, then you have a bunch of extra parts. So that's not a bad thing. I'm being a
but that's the mentality of a hoarder, because they're going to justify why they have so many of it.
I was being sarcastic, but one thing on the 308, I have 308s, but think about it this way: as far as situations like this, you can use that to barter and trade for someone else for something you need and they might need. So if they can't find 308 in their area and you can't find a certain caliber in your area, that's not a bad thing. Now with ammo, here's the way I look at it. When we get into times like this where you're paying just stupid like dollar a round for 9mm and stuff, if you've got a lot of it, because back in the day, people, friends of mine were like, oh, you're stupid for having all that ammo. Now they're the ones calling me saying, hey, can I get some ammo? So I mean, as far as ammo and stuff, you've got to feed your guns. Ammo is really not going to ever go bad as long as you store it correctly. So that I could say, yeah, it doesn't hurt to store ammo. And again, with you and I and others, we have a lot of guns, but do we need, all the guns that we have? You can only carry one or two at a time. So yeah, we don't physically need those. But part of the reason I have some is if I have to arm my family, friends, relatives, then I can take care of them. That's not my excuse for having them, but I could do that if I needed to. So I look at it, if you've got telephone books from 1923 stacked up in your house and you're walking through a little tunnel to get to your bedroom, that's a bad thing. But, if you're storing stuff like ammo, I don't think that's a bad thing, in magazines, but there could be a time coming where there's enough is enough and you've got way too many. And you might want to thin out some of the herd if it's something that that you're absolutely not going to use, because someone else could enjoy it. So have I ever gotten rid of guns? Yes. So it's going to be up to each individual person of what you hoard or what you want to have a lot of. But I've heard, people say, well, gosh, you've got 1,500 rounds of 9mm. That's ridiculous. You're a hoarder. No, you're not a hoarder. I love it when the news, like some bad guy or something, they catch him and they're like, he has a stockpile of ammunition and rifles, and he's got 4 rifles and like 1,000 rounds of ammo. I'm like, oh boy. Yeah. So those always make me laugh when I see that kind of crap.
Just really quick, I want to address a couple of things here that people were saying as you were talking. So the first thing is, Pistol Pete said, you don't hoard, you buy, sell, and buy again. That's not hoarding. And that's true. But I want to say something about that, why that has happened to me so many times. First off, I can never make up my mind. But more importantly, when you start this YouTube channel, I don't have any means of like making a ton of money to like get new things, So it's like you kind of get caught in this idea that you buy something that eventually you're going to sell, and then you might buy it again because you miss it because now you've made a little bit of money, So I think I've gotten to the point on my YouTube channel where, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of people, in my opinion, a lot of people lie on YouTube saying they're not making money. That's just not true. You look at people that have a lot, thousands upon thousands of subscribers. I think most of you guys in this chat tonight know that they're making money. They're making bank. And that's no fucking joke. For me, I make enough a month to probably pay off most handguns. Now it's not $1,000, but it's enough to be able to say, okay, if I want to buy this handgun this month, I may have most of it where I may have to push out like $100 of my own. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. I make the videos will get watched and that's it. But for people who are out there saying that they're not making money, even though their videos are monetized, I'm telling you right now, that is not true. And I think it's ridiculous. I don't think you should be lying about that. I've worked very hard to be able to get that. And when I say that, I'm not digging ditches, guys. This isn't like that hard to do. It's really not. Yeah, there's some certain things that you got to fix and figure out as you go along, like the sound and the lighting and all that other stuff. But this isn't like rocket science at all. And, if you build up enough of a following, you can make money off of this. And, I've always said I'm not in it for the money anyway. But why I've always sold a lot of guns is because it was to pay for something new so that I could show it on the channel. And then, yes, eventually it's got to be sold because I then have to be able to do something else. And I don't have to do it, but I like doing it. I enjoy doing it. I like having this conversation with people. What I don't like is all of the bullshit that people spin saying they're not making money when in fact they are. And that's the truth. That's the honest truth about it all.
Yeah. mean, I'll second that. There's a lot of people that are, oh, I need your Patreon, or I need this, or I need that. I mean,
And I don't even have a problem with that. Like I used to, and now I don't even care anymore. It's like, if that's what you want to do, that's fine.
I wasn't meaning that as a derogatory statement. I mean, they can have Patreon, because if people want to give them money, that's not a big deal. But to say that you're just flat broke, I mean, I've got a lot of videos that are demonetized. You might too. And that can hurt you, because, they never get shown. They just kind of sit there, but it is what it is. And I'm not in it to be, Mr. Popular or anything. If you grow, you grow. Now, Brandon's asking, has your STI been reliable so far? How does it compare to your other high-end 1911s? Brandon, I will have a video coming out about that. So I don't really want to let it all loose here, but it's good. You'll want to watch it. I've been running the crap out of that thing. So I'm not going to carry anything until it's proven to me. So I'll just kind of leave it at that. But I'm going to be 1,000% honest with you. There's no reason for me to lie, because, if I'm not going to, if there's something wrong with it, I'm not going to carry it. But I do have everything documented. So I will be going over all of that in the video. Bald saying, if you had 1 million rounds, you might be a hoarder or well prepared. So yes, you could.
That is true. Right. But if you have 1 million rounds of something that you don't need, are you a hoarder, or are you well prepared? What are you going to do? Throw the bullets at everybody?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Oh, and I do want to let something out of the bag that a lot of people probably don't know, because maybe they haven't seen that. But Masterpiece Arms, they're known for their precision rifles. They actually released a 2011. So anybody that's interested in it, you can go on masterpiecearms.com and you can take a look at it. And the neat thing about it, they're all, custom pistols. They look really badass. They have optic ready. And the mags are reasonable. The mags are like $75, so they're comparable to an STI. But the pistol is like $29.99, and it's a freaking super nice pistol. Looks similar to an Atlas. It from what it sounds like, they bought a custom gun manufacturer that was maybe making these. So they bought them, and now they're carrying them, and they're pretty damn nice. So just go on Masterpiece Arms. They are called the MPA DS9 pistol. So you go on their website, and then you go down to the DS9, and you can pull them up and check them out. They're doing like a blue barrel and, some of these custom colors. So it looks kind of cool, but just wanted to throw that out there.
Just really quick also, and I just want to say this one last thing, and I'm never going to talk about it again, but, just talking about, the YouTube money again, the only channel that I've ever seen that's really addressed the truth behind it, and I don't subscribe to him, and I'm not necessarily a huge fan, but Tactical Toolbox always talks about the money he makes off of YouTube, and the fact that it is absolutely possible to make some money to help you kind of drive it. Now, imagine a guy like that. That guy's, I don't even know how many subscribers he has, but if he's monetized everything and he's read those rules, like I was watching one of his videos the other day about the links and everything else like that. I mean, if you're putting in those external links, that is absolutely a way for you to get demonetized just like that. And I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not saying it's right, but it's their platform. They control that. So sometimes you have to think a little bit about how you get around those and manipulate it for yourself so that you can earn a little bit of money. And, I just, every time I hear it, I kind of get bristle about it because, when I started this channel, I remember making my first $100 on YouTube, and I was so happy. It took me 3 months to make $100, 3 months. And it was, and I was happy, man. I was like, holy shit, I just made $100. So you think about that as you grow, as your channel goes over 10,000 and then 12,000 and 20,000 and then up and up and up. If those videos stay monetized, what's going to happen is you're going to make money off that stuff, and you may not be able to buy a $2,000 handgun that first time around, but if you put your money together after 3 months, you can absolutely buy a $2,000 handgun. And that's coming from a channel that is small. Like my channel is tiny. It's not a big channel. And the way I look at it is that if I can do it, anybody can do it. And it doesn't take much effort at all. It really doesn't.
No. Yeah. That's anybody that wants to make videos, they can use their cell phone. They don't have to buy a high dollar camera, any of that kind of stuff. They could just make videos and do it. Everybody knows this about me. I don't do any editing. I'll go in and just stick videos together. but I don't, splice them and dice them and do all that other stuff. Y'all see it like I see it, or like it happens. But I just say do what you want to do, how you want to do it, and you'll gain subscribers, and yeah, you can make money. So, and then you can even get with companies, and you can get like affiliate links and stuff like that, where if you recommend their product because you really believe in it, you can make a percentage off of it, and of course you get the discount off of it, or the customer does. So, I mean, there's ways to make money if you want to do it. So, I mean,
it's like, it's just a matter if you want to do it, if you really want to, commit yourself to doing it. And like I said, it's, it in the beginning, it's difficult because you do have to do certain things that make it appealing. I think the biggest thing you can invest on is probably some lighting and definitely the sound. I think those are two of the most important things, but again, it's also going to depend on what kind of channel you have. Like I shouldn't be talking about this because I've seen some channels out there that are just awesome. I mean, they're the way they edit everything, the cinematography, it's like a million miles above where I'm at, and I'm okay with that, and I'm sure they're making pretty good money off of it. But I'm okay. Like I'm totally fine with what I'm doing. I don't need to be the next big thing, and I just always wonder why people are like that sometimes.
Yeah, and don't let the money go to your head either. If you start doing really well and you are making good money, I mean, don't lose who you are, and don't lose.
I'll give you a great example. So I was talking to someone the other day that is pitching a product a little bit, and they were telling me that they've reached out to bigger channels and they want like $2,000 to review the product, like $2,000. And and I'm not going to mention names, obviously, but I was sitting here saying, God damn it, I'm just happy if you send me the product and I can keep it. But I guess maybe that's me being stupid. I mean, maybe I could market it better, but I just enjoy doing it, and I think that's probably where it needs to be.
Yeah, it's a hobby. I mean, it's not a job for me. It's just a hobby. Brian's asking, what will the ATF try next? My opinion is they're not done with this brace thing. I think they just kind of put it on the back burner to the new regime or whatever happens. All of this is going to be addressed again and probably more. So I would say stay in touch with the congressman. Everybody needs to be on top of everything because the ATF, they're just looking at something to jump off on people about anything and everything. They need to go away, period. But they're probably not going to. But yeah, we've got to stay vigilant in everything that we do. What's your opinion on that?
I don't think they're done either. I think they're just waiting like everything else. But I also think what they're going to do is they're going to push a lot of this stuff onto the states, especially the blue states, especially where states one time were red and now they've converted to blue. So I could see them saying, okay, it's going to be a state issue, so let the states handle it. And I'm sure they already have a game plan. So I would think not necessarily, full board on the ATF, but definitely local governments is what you have to be careful for.
Yeah. Yeah. And Kathleen was asking something about, I will review a product for 50 cents and some booze. And I know she's joking around about that, but what's really funny is there's actually some whiskey channels, they do review, like, they'll taste and they do all this stuff, about, alcohol and whatever. And if that's what you're into and that's what you enjoy, do it. It doesn't have to be gun related.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know if y'all know this, but I didn't even know this, but I was told by a friend of ours that has a young kid. There's some kid that started doing videos when he was really young about toys. He would buy a toy and then he would review it. And now I think he's like 12, but I think he started when he was like 5 or 6. And supposedly he's knocking down like 200 plus grand a year, and it goes into a trust and his parents have control over it. But this kid is like killing it, and he just does toy reviews. So, I mean, you can review anything you want, doesn't have to be gun related.
My first YouTube channel wasn't even this. I actually had one for like 2 videos. I don't even know if it's still there. It might be, but it was called Motovlog Heaven. So I used to ride a motorcycle around with a camera and just drive. That's all I would do, just ride a motorcycle. Wow. That's it. Yeah, I wouldn't do anything else.
There's there's a bunch of those big moto channels. Yeah. Some of them are really funny. I can't remember that guy's name, but he does the little memes. These little faces will pop in and it'll go, Rah! And but he's really funny, and I've watched him.
Yeah, I mean, I just did something like that for a little while, and then I was like, okay, this is kind of stupid. So So it lasted, I believe, 2 videos. I don't think anything was ever published. My daughter is big into singing, so she wants to start her own channel. So I'm working on that with her to see if, we can get her up and running and see. So once that happens, I'll ask everybody to subscribe to her. As long as they're not mean to her, because she's such a nice kid.
Yeah, and that's the thing, when I guess Coda Boy just posted a video about the braces, who knows? And then that's the thing, I'll have people say, "Hey, if you found out that information, why don't you post a video?" I'm not looking for, I'm not one of those people. That's just me. So, but anyway, yeah, I mean, there's things like if kids do start channels, I mean, man, there's going to be bullies out there. There's going to be trolls. There's going to be all of that kind of crap, especially even adults humiliating kids that do videos, and that's sad, but it's going to happen. And that's just the thing. You just gotta, if you're an adult or a parent, you've got to protect your kids from that. But I say if your kid is, I guess mature enough to accept that there's going to be bad and good, and just keep it clean. I think, even I wouldn't say kids like little bitty kids, but I say that they could do it too. So it's just whatever they want to do. And yeah, Pistol Pete saying you could disable comments.
Yeah. And then, just kind of going back to something we were talking about before in regards to what are we looking at ATF wise and all that other stuff. I think the one thing we've really got to, I guess, be hopeful for is, even with everything we've seen with coronavirus and the lockdown, is that you have like sheriffs and it's not, just in red state, it's also California, New York, even in my local area, we had sheriffs who stepped up and said, we're not enforcing your bullshit laws. Yeah. In regards to like the quarantines and limiting people to like 5 and all this other crap. So, I mean, maybe at the end of the day, there is some light at the end of this really dark gun tunnel, that if they were ever to overstep themselves, we have local sheriffs who would be unwilling to enforce a lot of these garbage laws. And I think maybe we need to take that as a positive that, just maybe the reason why they're not pushing this agenda is because they will not have any local support from law enforcement. Now, will there be some that will? Sure, of course, we know that. But I'm hopeful that the majority of these guys and gals who have sworn an oath to that Constitution will be honest to say, we're not going to enforce these laws. These laws are unconstitutional, and we serve the Constitution, not the governors or mayors or anybody else. Yeah.
And that's even like with, a lot of people, I've heard two sides of that. Hey, your local police and stuff will not stand for that. However, I've heard some people say, well, the military will come in and do that. They'll take guns, and, military swears an oath also. So, it could be a nasty situation, and hopefully that would never come to that kind of situation. But, it really all depends. And I know that we've said this before, but, a lot of people don't think Georgia is a big deal. It is a big deal. I mean, we've got to keep our Senate, it could get pretty nasty, but, we've got to try to, keep up the fight, because it's not gonna end. I mean, it's, they're going to keep fighting and trying to take what they can take if we give it. So.
Yep. All you can do is just, hold your guns tight.
Yeah.
like they're a child, because if not, you're going to see some crazy things happen.
Yeah, Nebraska Gun Freaks asking, Big Johnson Guns and Gear 1776 or bust, would you bother building an AR pistol right now, AR pistol, with this going on, or should I wait? I've been telling my wife for a while that I would build her one. What's your opinion on that? Now, this would be a pistol with it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say to you, if you have the funds to do it, because you don't know how it's going to play out. But I think you're going to pay a premium right now. So it's really up to you. I mean, if you can afford to do it, why the hell not?
Yeah. Well, I've still seen braces on sale for $99. So if it were me, I would do it, because worst case scenario, you could pop a 16-inch upper on it if you don't want to SBR it. Or if you don't want to get in the mix, or if you just want to say, screw it, I've got what I got, and that's the way it is. But I wouldn't let that hinder you from building it. I would build it and get it done, be able to test it, make sure that it's going to work correctly, because that way you have it. That would be, That's what I would say.
I would never say no to getting a gun. So yeah, if you want to build it, build it. And if you can afford to build it, why the hell not?
And also, if you told your wife you were going to do it, you better do it.
That's true. And if she's okay with it, then hell yeah, do it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And if she's not okay with it, then hell yeah, do it.
Hell yeah, do it. Yeah, yeah. And as long as they're all black, it's just a gun you've always had.
That's right. That's right. Like I tell you right now, I brought home the P07 and the 19X. I left it out on my table here in this room. My wife walked in. She didn't even know. She had no clue. It looks like every other gun. She would have no idea.
Well, my wife, she doesn't care, but she just looks at mine and she just shakes her head. She doesn't give two craps. She knows what I do. So, but let's see here.
Yeah, Nebraska's saying he has the funds. The lower just need to buy a complete upper. Do it, man. Yeah. Do it now.
Yeah, I would. Yep. Yeah, and Range Randy's saying the same thing. And I was going to say we could get really mean and say what Dennis is saying. WTF are you waiting for? Build it.
So Balding Curious was talking about the United Nations coming in, confiscating guns, and C. Kim is saying they're too weak, so that will go nowhere. And plus, they wear powder blue helmets. So anybody who wears a powder blue helmet, you've got no credibility at all. Sorry.
Yeah. And I don't think they want to start playing in that sandbox.
No, fuck that. Foreign troops on American soil confiscating guns. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
That's what I'm saying. They don't want to play in that sandbox. That'd be pretty nasty. They'd be like, holy crap. They'd come to Texas and say, what the hell did we sign up for? We're outnumbered. Mm-hmm. But, well, we are getting towards that time, or it's a little past that time, but definitely wanted to do this chat. Wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, because we won't see you, before that maybe, or maybe we will. Yeah, we will. But definitely a Merry Christmas. Hope everyone's family's safe, well, all that good stuff. And, have fun, relax, But what do y'all, you want to go ahead and give some closing thoughts?
Sure. This year has been quite the year. I think we can all kiss this one goodbye and then hopefully have a better 2021 for so many different ways, whether it's about viruses or political unrest or stupidity and as a whole. So hopefully everybody will have a great Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever the hell you celebrate, and a Merry New Year, Happy New Year. More importantly, just want to announce this as well. I'm trying to get a discount code for everybody for those Icarus Precision lowers. So if I can get one, I will have that out as soon as humanly possible. So you guys can get some money off of that stuff because it's so worth it. But other than that, again, thank you all for supporting us over this past year and just making the channels grow and, having success. We can't do this without you. And I greatly appreciate it for sure, because I never thought 4 years into this or whatever it is that I'd have, I don't even know what I've got. I don't know, like 16,000 subscribers, which is crazy to me because this was just about talking guns and that's all it's been since then. So I appreciate everybody and I truly appreciate all of you.
Yeah, we do very much. Hit that thumbs up. It definitely helps us with the algorithms and all that stuff. Like, share, and subscribe. Check us out on Parler, or check me out on Parler. I'm not on Instagram anymore, but I know 17 is, so hit him up over there too. And we appreciate y'all so much. Have a great night. Merry Christmas, and we will probably see you next week. Take care, everyone.
We'll see you.
Bye. Bye.